organization works. Each and every organization which has a profit motive has to work upon a new product, because in order to thrive and exist in the market, you need to have new products, new variety of products, giving more facilities to the consumers. And for that purpose, and to increase your profitability base, your profit margin, cost plus profit is your selling price. So in order to increase your profitability, you need to keep on launching new products in the market, be competitive, give competition to your competitors and rival companies who are having substitute products of same qualities, same structure and same features which you have. You have to bring on something new every time to be there in the market. The fifth objective is to utilize spare production capacity. These days most of the companies have invested huge capital funds, into fixed costs for say machinery, for land, building, for infrastructure. So in order to get back return of this fixed capital investment which you have done, because corporates these days take borrowings, debts from banks, financial institutions to finance their proposals, their projects. So once these projects are into place, you have invested heavily into the fixed costs, machineries, capital investments, technology. So in order to get return out of it, you need to produce to an optimum level, and to produce in an optimal level, you have to use the spare production capacity also. Say for example, you have invested in a say plant which can produce say 1 lakh units of say a cotton yarn, something like that, 1 lakh units of say shirts. And if you are able to sell only say 50,000 units of shirts per annum, and you are producing, how much you would produce? You would produce somewhere around 80,000 or 60,000 or 70,000 of shirts, keeping them 10, 20, 30 as buffer stock. So your capacity is 1 lakh, you are producing 50,000, 60,000 shirts only. What about the remaining spare production capacity? It's a huge investment which goes waste, and there is interest cost to every fixed capital investment you make. So in order to see to that you don't have any spare capacity being wasted out, you need to utilize the spare production capacity. And in order to utilize this spare production capacity, you need to come up with new sort of new products every point of time in and time out. I mean, every year you can see Google, this iPads and this thing, Apple and all these companies coming out with new technologies, with new facilities in cell phones, in the cell phone world. So in order to utilize this spare production capacity and get return of the fixed investment which you have already made into it, you need to launch a new product. Next we'll move on to the sixth point, to increase the product line. How would you increase the product line? Say Lux was a brand which started somewhere around 1960 if I'm not wrong. So in order to increase product line, what the company has done, if you can see these days, you find Lux shower gels, Lux soaps of various types, crystallized soaps, gel soaps. So in order to increase these product lines, you need to launch new products to remain in the market. Seventh point is to increase prestige and brand value. Prestige and brand value, how does it get increased? Each and every point of time when you come out with new products, people talk, consumers talk, the markets talk, that so and so company has come out with a product which has such distinct utility, such features that are very attractive, that are very comfortable for use for the consumers. And basically this middle class and the upper rich class of consumers, they definitely are looking forward to new sorts of products every now and then, which are affordable as well as with new features, so that they are comfortable in use also. So once the market is able to accept and digest a new product which is launched by you, definitely you do have a brand value. You have advertisements these days of prestige cookers. Then you have advertisement these days of induction cookers, which is again a new technology brought into picture these days. So it definitely does increase the prestige, brand value and goodwill in the market for the companies. The next one we'll go for is, then what are the problems of launching a new product in the market? The first point is lack of special efficiency. Whenever a company or organization goes for launching a new product in the market, the first problem which they face is a lack of special efficiency. Special efficiency of what sort? Of various sorts. Because when we are launching a new product, we must have done a market survey. We must have done a market survey by which we come to know what are the expectations of the consumers on the products which we are about to launch. What are the expectations with regards to the price? What are the expectations with regard to the features? What are the expectations with regards to the quality of the product, etc. So lack of special efficiency in any department of an organization. Say for example, in an organization you will find various departments like the production department, the research and development department, the marketing department, the sales department, the accounting department, the finance department, the tax department. All these departments have to work in complete optimal efficiency so as to make a launch of new product in the market successful. So lack of special efficiency in any part of the team, of the company team, can make a problem for the product. Second point is non-profitability. Because of the market survey you have done, you may come to a conclusion that the product is say profitable, but at the end of the day it may result that the product becomes non-profitable for the company. How it becomes so? There are various external factors which affect the company. For example, inflation in the market, inflation in say raw material, non-availability of raw material, less availability of raw material, expensive labor these days because labor expenses are increasing. You may find problems like raising of interest costs for the investments which you have borrowed from various financial institutions. Because of all this, the costs go on increasing, and finally your new product may land into an area where you may not be profitable enough to run the company or run the product in the market, and you may have to withdraw the product from the market. So non-profitability is one of the most important problem which is faced by a new launch of a new product in the market. Third is non-cooperation. Non-cooperation among say distributors, non-cooperation say among the staff, non-cooperation between the production and the sales department, non-cooperation between government and the industry, non-cooperation say between the producers, the competitors, non-cooperation with the dealers. So non-cooperation at any level can be very, very, very dangerous for a launch of a new product. Non-cooperation between say sales and the marketing team can be very, very dangerous for the company, because you find marketing coming up with orders of say 1 lakh shirts, and the production department may not be able to produce 1 lakh shirts on time. So non-cooperation at any level inside the company or interaction with any external parties can be a big blow to the new product which has been launched. Fourth is organizational conflict. As I gave example of the production department and the the marketing department. The marketing department brings an order of say 1 lakh shirts, and the production department is not able to produce the same within the specified time limit. There could be a problem. Organizational goals conflict can also be a problem. Say if some departments in a company are profit oriented, they are profit centers, whereas some departments are cost centers. So organizational conflict, one department is having a goal of its profit of its own, and the other department is having another goal, that can lead into a big organizational conflict, and this can create a big problem for the launch of a new product. Fifth and the last point is, again, last point of the slide, of course, short life of the product. What does short life of the product mean? Some products are perishable in nature. For example, say Reliance Fresh is having a stall for vegetables and fruits, which are perishable products. If they are not sold within a specified period of time, they will perish. So short life of product can also become dangerous for its launch in the market, because if say it's required to be consumed within 2 or 3 days of its production or of its kept, these days you find example of bread which are in the market. The government has made it compulsory for people to put for the producers to put a mark on it that you have to consume it within this many period of time, or within this many days. The date has been printed on the bread. So after that date, nobody is going to buy that bread, right? So it becomes a very important matter, the shelf life of the product, or the consumable period of the product. If it is of a shorter period of time, it can become a problem in its launch in the market. The next point is fluctuating fashion and trend. Fluctuating fashion. These days fashions are for even these days numerous companies have allowed jeans as a formal attire for their staff. So you find the fluctuating design, fluctuating fashion trend can be a big blow to your product. If you are unable to predict what the market is going towards to, it could be a very big problem for your product if it's a new product, right? Seventh point is fear of fast duplication. Once you come up with something new in the market, there is a fear of duplication, because competitors are everywhere. In these days of cutthroat competition, competitors are just looking forward. If they get something new just as they see something new in the market, they will immediately try to copy and imitate the design, the technology, etc. You find these days Chinese products in the market immediately copying cell phone, say iPad, something like that, immediately just as it is launched. So there is always a fear of fast duplication in this cutthroat competitive world. Eighth point is legal restrictions and pollution norms. Because an entity is not in a closed wall, any organization cannot work in a closed wall. It is open not just to the society, but is also supposed to follow all the rules and regulations of the government in whose jurisdiction the organization works. So legal restrictions which are imposed on by the government, say if your manufacturing unit is at say outskirts of Ahmedabad, you are governed by the local laws of not just the municipal corporation of Ahmedabad, but also the Gujarat government law policies are also applicable to you. So all these legal regulations plus pollution norms, there are pollution boards which are being institutionalized by the state departments, various state departments, and even the central governments. So you need to follow all the pollution norms and rules also whenever you are producing or launching a new product. Say production of your product is exploiting natural resources to an unacceptable extent, not in a sustainable manner, then definitely your industry is at threat. Not just the industry, the product may be even banned at times by the government. The last point is no research department or lack of research and development activities. Whenever you launch a new product, say for example, if you are not improving upon that product, if you are not improving upon the features of it time in and time out, what happens is your product becomes redundant. It won't be accepted by the market, say after 2 or 3 months, just as your rival or some other person comes up with a substitute product with even better facilities, even better features, you will be thrown out of the market within just 2-3 months if you are not constantly developing and researching into your new product launch. The next point which we are going through is characteristics of new product affecting its adoption process. What does this mean? I mean, what are the features of your new product which will affect its adoption process? Adoption process means acceptability among the consumers. The first one is relative advantages. What are relative advantages? Suppose if we just give an example of, say, mic. Previously mic used to come with long wires, so you cannot it was not portable. Now you have wireless mics. So relative advantages, something you have to come up with better than something which is already existing, right? This is relative advantages. This increases your acceptability amongst the consumers, amongst the market. So you need to have relative advantages. Second one is comparability. Because you are launching a new product, it's very obvious that the consumers are going to compare it not just with the competitors' products, but it will also be compared with products, similar products which are sold even outside the country. Why this is so? Because these days are of e-commerce. If a recent survey says that more than the online purchase of, say, Ahmedabad city has in last 1 year simply tripled, simply 300 times it has increased. So now you are in an era of global competition. Global companies across the globe are competing with you. So in these days, comparability is one of the most important aspect which you need to take care of. Why? Because it does definitely affect it adoption in the market. Third one is classificatorily. Classification of products. Say for example, if we talk about furniture, you have king size bed, you have queen size bed, then you have single bed, then you have sofas. So classification of home furniture can be done. I mean, if we just talk about beds, king size, queen size, single bed. This is classification. Why this classification is required? It is required because it suits to the different needs of the consumers. If you are not able to classify as per the needs of the people, as per the needs of the consumers, definitely it